Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Eshan and welcome back to my channel. And this video is quite exciting because, as the title says, I have passed the phase 1 of the 100k My Forex Funds challenge. And it is a bit of a clickbait because technically I have not passed it because I need to fill in those minimum trading days, because My Forex Funds has a 5-day minimum trading days that you have to fill. And I actually did pass it in 2 days. So I have filled in 4 of those minimum trading days and I've got the last one on the Monday. So as soon as I fill that in, I will get the account details for the second phase. I've been waiting for, progress to show in my trading. And yes, compared to the last time I took the challenge in June and July, I know it has, but it's nice to see that, my efforts are showing through passing the first phase. So it's quite exciting. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the account dashboard. So basically you see proof of me passing the first phase. So I'll also show you guys the trades I took for the challenge. And there actually is a funny story with this challenge, which I will go into later. And also later on, I will also show you guys what I'm thinking will happen in the market. So I'll forecast my thoughts on the market. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video or take any value from it, please smash the like button and subscribe. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm to get this type of content out to traders just like you. But yeah, that's that, and let's get on to this video. So here I am on the account dashboard for My Forex Funds, and I was trading the 100k account and I hit the target, so just above 8k. I have not filled in those minimum trading days. So over here I filled in 4 of the minimum trading days, but I have 1 more to fill. So on the Monday I will place the 0.01 lot size and quickly close the trade to fill in the minimum trading days. There's a funny story. You can see here the first trade I placed was $7,938.49 profit. Now you might be asking, why didn't you close it at 8,000 and just pass the challenge on the first trade? And yeah, I was on my MT4 and I see it hit 8,000, just above it. I went to close the trade and it delayed for a couple of seconds and it closed for the $7,938 mark. And you could imagine how pissed I was, man. How pissed I was to see that it did not hit the 8K. To be fair, I'm pretty sure it was my internet connection, because I do not get the best signal for where I am because I'm in an apartment complex quite high up. So yeah, it's probably my bad. However, it is really, really frustrating. So yeah, I kind of had to deal with that psychologically, and yeah, I had to make sure I didn't lose my head, because I could have easily, tried and, re-entered, and that wouldn't have been good because it didn't fit any of my plans. Like, I got to follow my plan, right? So basically I placed another trade where I thought, I could enter, in which, was a valid entry. I thought it was a good trade, and actually ended up banking 9.49%. But as soon as I got over the 8k, so $85, which got me over the 8k, I closed the trade, and yeah, I was quite happy. So yeah, crazy experience. These challenges, man, they really do make you sweat. I swear, really do make you sweat. But yeah, this is my proof that I've hit the target. Have to fill in those minimum trading days, 1 more minimum trading day, and yeah, I'll get the phase 2 account details and go on to that. So yeah, now I'm going to show you guys the trades I took. So I'm going to head over to TradingView and show you the trades. So here I am on AU, and this was the pair that passed me the challenge phase 1 of the My Forex Funds challenge. So I'm going to head into it. This was the trade that got me basically passing me the challenge. I'm going to bar replay it. so I can explain my thought processes on the trade. So over here, we actually got this bomb formation. I'm actually gonna take it at this point. All right, so for me, right, we can see we're in this large range, right? But if you look closer into price action, right, let me get my brush tool. Right, we pushed up, pushed down, created this small mini descending, right, because this low was broken by this low, and you can check that in the top left. Shows you the high, low, close, open, and we pushed up, broke the high, came down, pushed up, went down, pushed up. So it's starting to get a bit of a trend, right? And that's what I was seeing. I saw a bit of a trend, and people could argue that there is this area of liquidity above here, but for me, I look at the most recent liquidity if I'm taking that into consideration. And for me, over here, I saw that being cleared, that, you know, that wasn't even an issue for me anymore. So as soon as I saw that trend and a bit of a push up, I didn't mind looking for any trades. So yeah, we got a wick. So for me, I would have liked to see a range. So we pushed down, showed no signs of any shift in momentum to the downside. So I kind of like that, but I still want to see a bit of a range, which we got, right? Broke the low. And at this point, right, it didn't give us an entry candle because we didn't get a bullish candle, and there was the bullish candle. So for me, right, I was happy to take an entry, and yeah, it did push up. Now, here it shows 7.04, but if we look, it hit the 8%. So yeah, for me, I was closing the trade at 8%, a bit above 8%, and at 2 seconds, it dropped a bit, and I didn't pass on that trade because it delayed and it closed for around 7.9%, right? So yeah, these things happen in challenges. This happens, like nothing you can really do about it, but get a better internet connection. Yeah, it is what it is. So we move on, and the way I trade the challenge is different to how I would trade normally, because I wouldn't take profit at this point if I was normally trading. I'd wait for a new high to be created and move my stops below the low. So in Gorilla, my stops would still be below this low over here. But as soon as we broke the high, I moved my stop loss below here. So around 7.04, two pips below the low. We pushed up, and actually I would have been happy to enter in this candle, but for some reason, my Apple Watch did not buzz me in, and I didn't enter. But you can say luckily for me, it took me out, and it would have taken me out of the scaling. But yeah, you could say I was lucky I didn't enter that. But and the same thing happened for AJ, which I would have entered, but it happened literally on the same time, the entry candle, and for me, I was asleep, and this damn watch didn't vibrate enough. So anyways, yeah, it took me out on my other account, 7.04%, and yeah, and my mindset was I need to wait for a new trade. And I'll tell you, the psychological battle I had was that I was so scared that I would not hit that extra percentage, and I would just keep going down in my account, and me not getting 8% on the first trade would haunt me forever, I swear. But I went in with a game plan that I wouldn't risk the 1% anymore. I'd risk 0.15%. So I would basically just need to get 0.5 R on a trade, and I would be good. So that kind of took the stress out a bit, because for me to lose a full percentage, I would have to lose a bit less than 10 trades, right? So basically the stress was out. Then over here we had a push down, right? And my thought process was, if we get a break of this low, I'm interested in a continuation bullet, especially because I know AU likes to trend correctively. And you would know how it kind of moves through something called pair characteristics. So basically just look at a pair, how it moves, make some notes, and put that into your trade plan. But yeah, anyways, what happened over here? We got a nice break of the low, but it left a bit of a wick. So for me, I didn't want to place a bullet entry. I wanted to wait for a bit more, maybe a push down or a combo. So what did we get? We got this inside bar. Now for me, right, I'm not seeing any signs of a shift in momentum, but I wanted to see the combo, right? And we got no shift in momentum. Now, I placed my combo entry over here. Over here, it tapped me in just after spread hours, and I was involved. And at this point, right, at this point when it nearly hit my stop loss, I was like, holy shit, am I going to get into this like loss drought or something? But no, everything was all right. That was just, a flash second. Psychologically, I think I've actually improved. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but for a flash second, I did think that. But yeah, it did actually push down. And at around this point over here, around here or so, I took my profits. And yeah, I passed the first phase of my challenge. Technically not passed yet because I need to fill in those minimum trading days. But yeah, I like to think that I passed the first phase. So yeah, anyways, just looking over this trade, if I was on my normal live account, I was still in drawdown, right? Still in drawdown. And if you're thinking over here, right, this is the highest 75931 at this point, where your high would be, and this is 75931. So technically, if you kept your stops at the same level as the high, you would have been taken out. But personally, I put my stops 2 pips above or 2 pips below. So for me, it was 2 pips above the high, so I wasn't taken out. And over here, did it break the low? 75615, 75. No, it didn't. This broke the low, so my stops moved up here. Moved up here. Then it continued pushing down. Huge candle over here. I'm just talking to you. This is not part of the challenge, but might as well just talk to you guys about it. And we actually did get a bump. Now, some could argue, we're in a trend. There's no shift in momentum. There's nothing completely wrong with the trade, but for me, we have a large candle which took out the highs of these candle, the large wick, and then a large wick over here. I wanted to see a bit more momentum, or maybe even a bit more of a range. But for me, yeah, I was not interested. So we move on, and it did actually continue down. Ranged a bit. Right. Did this technically break the low? It broke the low. So my stops moved. Nope, that's the brush tool. My stops, they moved over here to this inside bar, 2 pips above that. So the high was 74914. So it was at 74934, 2 pips above. And price continued down. Right. This was a counter trend candle. And it started ranging, properly ranging. And then this candle, again, if your stops were at the same level as the high, which is over here, right, you would have been taken out. But because I placed my stops 2 pips above the high, 2 pips below the low, I wasn't taken out. So yeah, that's where backtesting can kind of help you and see, you know, where you should put your stops or not. But yeah, price continued down, right? And then this candle broke the low. So I kept my stops above this high, which is 74692. 74692. Right? And then I got taken out for a 9.49% profit. So yeah, this was the trades I took this week. So one of my biggest weeks yet. I actually thought the week before last week was my biggest week, but this week was really good. 16%? Around 16.5%. So yeah, good week for me. And actually, yeah, a bit of a teaser because it broke the high and then continued down, but that's completely fine. No emotion. You know, I followed my trade plan. It is what it is. And yeah, I feel good about this. And now I'm going into the phase 2 with a bit of a momentum, but I gotta stay level-headed because, you know, you don't make percentage according to, you know, oh, I'm gonna get this much percentage. It doesn't really work like that. It's what the market does. The market can be really shit for the next 2 months. You could basically see this for the next 2 months. It's not my choice. It's really not my choice. And if it does that, I'm not going to trade the market in this condition, right? It could literally do that for the next 2 months, and you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to stay level-headed and go into the phase 2 with you know, just my trade plan, follow that, and whatever happens happens. But yeah, that was my trades for the challenge, and I'm going to go into the forecasting for the next week. So right now I'm on AU and I'm basically just forecasting what I'm thinking right now. I haven't forecasted before, so this is basically my live thoughts on what I'm thinking will happen in the market. So here on AU, I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing that there's a bit of weakness because we had this ascending fashion and then we actually have a V-shaped price action. So when you get this V-shaped price action, that kind of indicates that we're more likely to range, and we did get a bit of a range. And with V-shaped price actions, if you get that range and we get the second leg impulse, then price could end up continuing to the upside. So I'm seeing a bit of a range. If we get the push up and we get a push back down to the bullet zone, I'll be happy to take that continuation bullet because I'm getting I have a few confluences with the trade, which is the descending fashion, the V shape, bit of a range, and if we get the push up, yeah, I'll be happy to take the trade. Also, I'll be happy to take a nice bunker bomb to the upside. Yeah, completely happy with that. Also, if we end up continuing down, I'll be happy to take a bomb, a short bomb. Now, what else can I see? If we get a push down like this, and we have to, you know, get into the bullet through a very aggressive retrace, that just indicates to me that we're still descending. So yeah, I wouldn't be interested in that. However, maybe if we started pushing down within the range, and then we had a strong break and then a push to the bullet zone, I think I'll be happy to take that trade because I'll be seeing momentum down, and also because the Aussie pairs like to trend correctively, I'll be happy to take that trade, right? But if we do get a weak break, then to me, just shows that we're descending and we're more likely to push to the upside. So yeah, that's my thoughts on AU, and I'm going to now move on to EJ. So now I'm on EJ, and what are my thoughts on this pair? Now I can see that there is a key liquidity area where stops could be held above. So I'm going to keep this area in mind. If we look to prior price action, I can see that we're quite ascending. So you can see that it broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced. So we are ascending. So if we continue ascending and we break the low and then push back to the bullet zone, right, I'll be happy to take that trade to the downside, a short bullet, because I'm getting confluences that there's no momentum to the upside, have the ascending nature, we had the key area above, so I'll be happy to take that trade. Now we are ascending, so on EJ I do know that it likes to impulse from ascending and descending natures in the direction that it is ascending or descending. So what does that mean? So basically we are ascending, so it could easily impulse up, right, which it likes to do on this pair, and I'll be happy to take a bomb to the upside. Also what it can do is it can continue ascending and then impulse and come back to the bullet zone and then continue up. Now on this pair, I'm happy to take those aggressive pullbacks from, you know, ascending natures, because I know it likes to do that on this pair. So if we get a strong push up, a really large, you know, bullish candle, that's a shocking drawing. If we have a strong push up, aggressive push up, I'm happy to place my order, right? I'm happy to place the order, 12 pip stop loss. Even if it seems really aggressive, I'm happy to take the entry because it is EJ. So yeah, that's my thoughts there for long positions. And also if we do push to the downside, I'll be happy to take a reversal bomb. So yeah, that's my thoughts on EJ. But yep, have to keep in mind Monday mornings tend to be very range bound, so I have to keep that in mind when I am taking trades. So yeah, let's get on to the last pair, AJ. So right now I'm on AJ, and yeah, it's quite range bound. We can see this ranging through this price action over here. So what are my thoughts? So if we look to the major high and major low, right, the high would be over here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just check. High, you can look at the top left, is all 894, 887. Okay, so technically, all right, the high is here, the low is here. So technically ranging between the high and low. So what are my thoughts? So I need to see clear momentum. So yeah, if we get flags to the upside or the downside, I'll be happy to take it, obviously, because you're seeing that clear momentum shift. Now, in terms of continuation bullet entries, I need to see clear momentum. So I won't look to take the first pullback, not for me. I need to see the push down, push up, push down, and then I'll look to take the entry. I need to see an established trend, right? Because we are still quite range bound. And the same thing to the upside. I need to see a push up, push down, push up, and then a continuation bullet to the upside. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Other ways that I could enter is maybe if we see a larger ascending, right, and then we push down, push up to the bullet zone, right, I'll be happy to take that. And same thing to the downside, I'll be happy to take that, right? So that's the only way in which I would enter the market. However, you know, Monday mornings, as I said, are really range bound, so we could just end up seeing this, right? And I will not be looking to get involved. So those are my thoughts on the three pairs, AU, EJ, and AJ. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.